anything else that we can consider money, silver, gold, precious metals, all this sort of thing, will become, we don't care about that. That's really not serving our purposes anymore. We just don't care because we can go online and click and find, beautiful house for our family to live in anywhere in the world. We can stay there as long as we want. Vacant houses, beautiful houses everywhere. That's humanity. This is probably what's written in the Bible as the healing of the nations that God gives, this thing. And I forgot what the thing is, but this is what he gives to us, is these good things he's got in store for us. And we've got to just stand tough and encourage others, help others, comfort others, and just let people know that even if they do kill you, he loves you. He's holding you in his arms. He's not going to let you really die. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Jesus proved that on the cross with the resurrection by raising the dead. God still owns the atoms in the body. So if he wanted to reassemble every atom in that person, he will. And that's the whole idea of this resurrection of the dead. It's not so much believing in reincarnation. I mean, you could say it's a branch thereof, but it's a continuation, a resurrection of the dead. So we get to live forever. That's ultimately what our divine parents, God Almighty, has in store for us and wants us to have. And it all makes perfect sense. So we've got good things to come if we hang in there. If we're on the right side, you've got to be firmly implanted on the side of humanity. There's only two sides here. Those are the elitists that are inhuman. Okay, and you don't want to have one foot on that side. You don't want to have one toe on that side, okay? Because like it's written, you know what? You can't be lukewarm. You can't have one foot in, one foot out. When it comes to trusting God alone, you've got to be zealous and be devoted completely to the one. Like Jesus said, you can't serve two masters. You got to love one and hate the other. That's what's going to happen. So we've got to disdain that idea. It's hating the idea of evil, that you would dare love money, this substance of deceit and delusion and power, so much that you would abandon your morals and your principles and your conscience and your integrity and your honor, your soul, okay, for that thing. It's disgusting. It's despicable. Like it's written, it's detestable in the sight of God. He hates it. We've got to get away from believing that we have to contend with this false God in perpetuity. No, it eventually will go. So when I get into talking about economic issues, believe me, folks, it's a means to an end. We've got to be free, man. We can have whatever we want, all the prosperity. Nobody has to be left out of the loop. People will serve one another because they're created to serve. They have a conscience. Okay, and it's just gotten easier and easier and easier. Look how much easier it is for a farmer to till his field today than it was 100 years ago. Okay, 200 years ago, even harder, right? I mean, this is where we are in our evolution in terms of knowledge increasing on the earth, technology, and it belongs to all of us. Our ancestors built the superhighways. Most of the infrastructure has been built by our ancestors. They're dead and gone. It belongs to we the people. It's ours. That's not a communist, socialist precept. Remember, I believe in voluntary taxation. If we're going to make anybody mandate taxes be paid, make them compulsory, let's start with the billionaire class, okay? If we were going to do it, what's logical? What's reasonable? What makes sense? And it's not even going to hurt them. And just have them pay everything. You understand? And then there'd be plenty. So it's all a big joke, okay? It's all just a big game, a charade. And fundamentally, we've got to really get that about this system. It's just the whole establishment is just a game. That's it. It's just a game. And I remember playing the game Candyland with my daughters when they were little. I was a single dad, and I changed up the rules. I thought it'd be more fun because I could see that as children, they hate to lose. They always want to win because win is good and lose is bad, of course, right? They're taught that from the earliest ages, right? So I could see, temper tantrums and just that miasma that was being created by somebody getting too far behind. They stop enjoying the game, and somebody else getting, they're getting all a little excited and, gloating in their winning streak or whatever. So I decided to change the rules, and I just, look, we're going to play this game, but whoever is behind, it's their turn. Whoever's in last place, it's always their turn. So if you leapfrog ahead of somebody, you lose your turn and it goes to the person behind. You see, if we were going to play this capitalist game in any way, this monetary-based game that we all put so much emphasis on, we give so much of our attention and so much of our affection and time to this false, this unreality, that has just been conjured up for us to live by. We could enjoy it so much more, but we've got to understand that it's a universal thing, that if you want to be free, you can't withhold freedom from others. If you want to be liberated, if you want to have a sense of security and safety for you and your family, you cannot be willing that same sense of safety and security, those things that give you that safety and security, be withheld from another. And the same thing with prosperity. You don't want to own anything that you feel somebody else can't own. It's instinct. It's just our godly intuition is to embrace these kind of precepts, this philosophy. It's the opposite of this social Darwinian, program of death and destruction. Okay, that is all that's about. It's hyper-competitive, dog-eat-dog, rat race, cutthroat kind of a society that they want for us, and we've got that. And people are killing themselves. I think we've probably got a lot more suicides going on than homicides. I know with 22 veterans a day taking their lives, it seems like that would be the case. It's just ridiculous, folks. It's very, 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 very sad. And you could be easily overwhelmed with sadness if you don't get it in check. And the only way to get it in check is go to God, and you got to check in about your belief in death. You've got to say, look, what is this thing? Because it's looking like I might have to start packing heat all the time, because they got this threat, these wild-eyed terrorists out there that hate me just because I'm American or I'm a Christian or for my Western values, whatever the case may be. That it looks like this sort of thing, that what happened in Paris could happen anywhere in the world. So, it's just, it's crazy, and it's just maddening and frustrating to no end that this is where we are at this point of our history, our evolution. I mean, this is absurd. This is obscene. And we've got to know that Spirit of God is getting ticked off. And we've got to just tap into that fury, that righteous indignation. And we've got to say, you know what? I'm not trying to sit here playing holier than thou, because I'm just human too. I don't want to be better than anybody. I just want to be equal. Okay, that's it. And those are big shoes to fill. We human beings are children of God. That makes us like little gods. We're made in the image and likeness. We are created just a little lower than the angels. We're the foot soldiers. We're on the front line. We're the front line of offense here. Offense in the sense that not a violent offense, but in the enlightening offense. Just saying, look, stop trying to resist the light of truth. Okay, you're going to lose. Right is stronger than wrong. Truth is stronger than lies. Good is stronger than bad. These things have always been the case. They are the case. They always will be the case. So all you evildoers, you are going down. You must be separated. We are one family growing together, like Jesus' analogy of the field of wheat, where the enemy came at night and sowed weeds into his field. And, the workman asked, shall I pull up the weeds now, or shall we wait? And he's wait, until the harvest grows together. And then we'll weed out the weeds from it, because otherwise we're going to lose. We're going to pull a lot of the wheat out. The grain we want to keep, we're going to end up pulling out. So this is why God is so forbearing and long-suffering and patient with humanity. Nobody is ever going to say he acted with hubris, impetuously, or anything like that. Okay? No, he didn't. He is the exemplification of patience and restraint. His name will be 100% wholly vindicated because of that reason. He's going to allow the wicked and righteous to grow together and mature together. And in his time, when his cup that he's filling with the fury of his righteous indignation is finally full and overflowing, that's when he sends Jesus back. He says, that's it, my son. You've got this great power and you've got this great throne awaiting you here on earth. You take this multitude of holy angels, this array of angels with you, and you go and you weed out the wicked from the righteous. And the wicked go here and the righteous go here. This is what your rightful inheritance is, and this is what you deserve here. It's either going to be penalties or rewards. Rewards for the righteous and penalties for the wicked. You just got to make sure you're 100% on the side of humanity. That's it. And say, that's it. I get it. I'm willing that it be God's way. Tap into every day to ask God, what do you? How will it be? Is it true that this thing we call money will have no role in a perfect world? Okay, and indeed, I believe you will find out, indeed, it is true. There's no way. It cannot coexist. It's like oil and water, and it's got to go. And the money lovers, they can be stuck down there in hell, just all those people.